So, what does blurred pill mean? Let me break this down. I was on sociosexual dynamics one time and I posted one of my videos. The video was women test you more when they hear you before they feel you. Very valid point. If you're going up to women saying, I'm masculine, I'm dominant, or I'm an alpha male, women have their own definition of what that means. And also, when you lead with that, saying who you are, instead of them feeling that from you, then oftentimes a woman is just going to automatically going to assume that either you're a liar and you're a fake, or you're in a position where her definition of a alpha male is pretty much, manosphere's definition of a beta male provider, right? These are just some things to understand. I remember I posted a video, and then what Steve Dean Williams got on my post. It was in Sociosexual Dynamics, my group on Facebook. And when he got on the post, he was talking about how, what kind of shit is this, or something like that. And I had to tell him for, hey man, it's, you know, either you post your comment or you don't. He said, this is a man space. I'm like, no, this is a co-ed space. I know because I made this space. And talking all kind of shit. And I'm like, listen, he was like, any guy who will listen to somebody who has red pill in their caption is a beta male or something like that. I said, listen, anybody who listens to somebody who don't have reading comprehension skills is not intelligent. Because my shit says blurred pill. Not red pill, not blue pill, not black pill, blurred pill. Right? This is, now listen, I appreciate what he does in his space. I appreciate all of the men and the manhood is a skill set, or all the men and the game kings like Lucario, K Zagan. K Zagan probably my favorite content creator when it comes to talking about masculine feminine dynamics, and when it comes to talking about dating relationships. K Zagan my favorite. That's why he's the, I hit him up so he could be the other admin on the group. I appreciate Mr. 1950. I appreciate Steve Williams, Steve the Dean. I appreciate Coach Yo. I appreciate Miles Cunningham. I appreciate Lucario. I remember watching these guys years ago on YouTube, and I learned different things from different one of these guys. Now, I appreciate Steve. I don't think I've necessarily learned anything from him yet, but I just have to watch some more of his content. Like, I try to be respectful. I appreciate it. But one thing I have an issue with some guys about is this right here. When you are jumping at getting triggered by buzzwords, not even understanding what the words mean, or that somebody can mean a similar thing using a different language or lingo. Talking about, real game, no theory. Yeah, I understand that. But some people, they understand things better from theory. I'm the type of guy where I've had success with women using theories that I've come up with before I had sex, before I started having, not before I had sex, but before I started having success with women. And I came up with certain mindsets, certain ideologies, certain philosophies, and those things that I came up with before I had success with women helped me have success with women after the fact. And I just further hone in those concepts so that I can share those things with others in a way that it can be more digestible. Some people, their mindset is jumping straight to seeing themselves as 100% perfect in the game. It's like, no, that's not my mindset. This platform right here, the Coach Brody, this platform, Brody Dharma, this platform is more so about sexual integration, which means that there are going to be guys who take more of the gigolo mindset that need to learn how to integrate those things into a long-term sustainable relationship. There's going to be guys who have more of a gentleman mindset where they have to learn to be a little bit more toxic, learn to tap into their masculine energy, right? And everybody's not going to know everything ahead of the time. Like, my thing isn't necessarily to just beat up on guys and to talk a bunch of shit in a way where I'm trying to, quote unquote, trigger guys, their egos and stuff. And I'm going to do a little bit of that sometimes. But that's not really my goal. That's not really my focus. My focus is to share my perspective and my philosophies on these different aspects of dating and relationships and sociosexual dynamics in a way that kind of just hones it all in, brings it all in. right? So I'm gonna talk about what Blerd Pill means. So what Blerd Pill is this: you got red pill, you got blue pill. It's like an anagram. You mix it together, you get Blerd Pill, right? Blue is blur is red pill, blue pill, black pill. Mixed together, you get Blerd Pill. But then also a big aspect of it is Blerd Pill. What is blurred? It's black nerds. I'm very pro black, right? I'm very pro black. And not only am I very pro black, but I'm not a guy who grew up being a bully. You know what I mean? I'm not a guy who grew up learning to be masculine and dominant with women from a young age. I had to learn these things later on. And an aspect of that is, growing up in the hood, growing up in black neighborhoods, which I love my black people. But for a lot of black men, our way of avoiding the street life was to tap into that lane of getting into sci-fi and anime and nerd things. And as we get into like anime and different cultures and start immersing ourselves in that, that was our escape from being indoctrinated into the street mentality and the street life, right? Now, I say blurred pill not as a guy. When I say black nerd, that don't mean bitch. I can fuck good. I can fight good. I'm an undefeated boxer. Undefeated. I'm a boxing coach. I've been a dom. You know what I mean? As far as being on the BDSM scene in a natural way. Just getting women. Those would be my submissives. I say jump. They say ha ha. That's just how I move. But something that's important to me is just being well rounded as a man. But one thing I don't do is turn away from my blurred roots. I know my background. I'm a black nerd. I've always been one of those weird dudes. But one thing I used to do was bully bullies. Back in high school, middle school, you know, there I would have friends. My friends would be nerds. And I'm not no big dude. I'm about 5'9". Back in high school, I was like 5'9", 160. But I hit hard as fuck. Fight real good. When I was in high school, I was known for my hands. I was known for my hands. After my freshman year in high school, I was like 15-0 in school. No losses. Beat everybody ass. And after that, people ain't fuck with me. Maybe somebody fucked with me like one time, my sophomore year. After that, I haven't had issues with people trying to fuck with me since then, right? But an important aspect of the blur pill for me is just understanding, okay, cool. If you're going to be a black nerd, you don't have to take the perspective of being a street nigga or being a particular archetype of man to attract women. My goal, a big part of my goal, is to put men in a position to where we can stick to the things that we're into on our own time and invite women into our environments, right? I think that a lot of really good men within the black community are black nerds. And there's often this thing talked about, like I know Ron Wills will talk about this. There's the educated lames. There's the, different men of that ilk, right? Where oftentimes they aren't seen as having, you know, being seen as sexually appealing to women, being seen as masculine and dominant, being seen as attractive, and being seen as select. One thing I've learned and one thing I've engaged in over my time is just heavily incorporating different aspects of blerd culture into my dating style. Like instead of going on a first date with a woman, it's gonna be anime and chill. You know what I mean? Anime and chill. Well, anime and fucking. You know what I mean? I'll be upfront about my sexual intentions. That's what the biology first approach is about. But just inviting a woman into your lifestyle as a blerd man, and also realizing that some of the best women within the black community are black nerds themselves. Like a lot of black nerd women, especially, because me, I know my type, man. I'm like a thick woman. A woman a lot of men like, hey, the words of Andre 3000, she had the type of body that would probably intimidate any of them that were unsouthern, but not me, cousin. If models are made for modeling, thick girls are made for cuddling. Like, that speaks to my soul. I like thick women with the pretty toes, some natural hair, big lips. That's just what I like. And one thing I've realized about blerd women is there's just a certain level of giving yourself a jump start for sexual integration when you have a certain level of common interest with the woman that you're dealing with. So either I could teach a woman and put her on to anime and stuff that I like, or I could be in a situation where a woman's already into those things. So we have sexual attraction and we have common interests that kind of gives us a jump start. It gives us a little bit of a platform to have conversation outside of sex and also to have our sexual relationship. And a lot of times, blur women be nasty. I like that. And a lot of dudes in the black community, they put they get mad at women, right, for putting hood niggas and street niggas and jailbirds on a certain pedestal to where they always fucking with the quote unquote Pookie and Ray Rays. I don't really give a fuck about Pookie and Ray Rays, right? Because when I was in high school and time since then, whatever it is, I was never really stunting those dudes. I ain't too worried about it because most of the time in high school, niggas fuck with me, I beat their ass. So I never had to indoctrinate the street life. Plus, I always had a father in my life, right? Well, especially after like 8 to 10 years old and live with my father full time. I had a father in my life, a strong man with morals and values. Was also compassionate and loving. Like I never had a issue with having a father who couldn't tell me that he loved me on a regular basis, but who also was stern and strict and had standards, and those things helped grow me into the man that I am today and is helping me grow into the man I'm going to be in the future. And one thing about that for me is this, like as I was growing up, I know my father had a lot of successful women, probably a little bit more of a late bloomer when he got to college. And, oftentimes a man will just go through a stage of his life where he's just dealing with multiple women or something like that. But I think not cheating is something that kind of just runs in the family when it comes to a lot of faithful men. But those men who were faithful were still men who, when they were single, they knew how to get it popping. And when I was raised, I was more so taught how to be a nice guy. I was taught how to conduct myself in a relationship, how to be a good man. I was not taught how to approach a woman. I wasn't taught how to attract a woman. I wasn't taught how to prioritize sexuality. I was just taught, if you're gonna be with a woman, don't be cheating on her, right? If you're gonna be in a relationship, you got to be the head of the household. These are the things that I was taught growing up. I had to learn how to attract women sexually on my own. So as I was growing up in high school, my mindset was to be the full package as a man. So I was people knew me for my rapping skills. I'm a music producer. I was an undefeated boxer. And, you know, sexually, when I fuck with women, they fuck with me heavy, right? So my mindset was always to be well rounded, even since a young age. One thing that I learned about was, like, over time, is that I didn't really change too much in how attractive I was between high school and now. I mean, I did my beard more full now and shit like that. But I mean, I was bald with a beard back when I was 16. I mean, I grew hair since then and had to cut my hair off for boxing. But cut my beard off for boxing. But I don't look too different. I didn't go out of my way to get in the body game, but I did as I worked on my mindset. And what I realized is that presenting yourself as the full package up front, it 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 hurts your chances with women, because most women are going to be somewhat sexually duplicitous. All right. So, since most women are going to be somewhat sexually duplicitous, when you present yourself as the full package to a woman up front, what you do is you put her in a situation to choose which side of her sexual